50 men throughout the world learned to look on the brutal face of communism.
So you joined the Army?
No, I didn't join the Army.
Were you drafted?
I was dragged kicking and screaming and protesting into the Army. We were shipped to Korea. I was sent out to a remote site in a little town called Wonju, about 7 miles behind the lines. The company I was in had the job of supplying and maintaining all the telephone service. And it was fun in a way. I mean, you don't want to ever have to do this kind of thing, but it was fun in a way because we were so isolated that nobody ever bothered us as long as we did the job we had to do. We had a wonderful operating record. We had 0 downtime. Well, the way that you don't have any downtime is you have 100% spares. And the way you get 100% spares is you get in a truck with a couple of the more ruffian-looking types that we had with us, and you drive up to Seoul. You go into 22nd Signal Group's big warehouse, and they've got some kid on the gate who just got off the boat, scared to death and didn't want to be there anyway. And we simply go through the gate, wave, load up whatever it was we needed and take it home with us without benefit of paperwork or anything else.
You women have heard of jalopies, you've heard the noise they make, but let me introduce my new Rocket 88.
You'd be out there on guard duty in the middle of winter, particularly cold, and some Korean would tippy-toe up to the fence wire, and they'd slip through and they'd steal themselves a 55-gallon drum of diesel fuel. Well, diesel fuel is pretty wonderful stuff. You can take a little diesel fuel and heat up those little Korean houses for a long damn time. Well, you know, it weighs a couple 100 pounds. Easy, maybe more than that. And you'd hear this drum going thump, 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 thump out across the rice paddy. And what we used to do is we'd lean out this little guard shack on the front gate. We'd lean out the guard shack and we'd just crank one round off into the sky. Just bam, like that. And the little drum would go bum, 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 bum. Just enough to discourage them.
And melt your cold, cold heart.
We wanted to take an old building on the compound and convert it into a club, you know, clean it up and rebuild it and make a nice little NCO club out of it. We weren't supposed to have, we weren't a big enough unit to have a thing like that. But the lieutenant that we had a friend in Seoul in the Field Grade Officers Club. And we used to take a 2.5-ton truck up there once a month, and we just load it up with beer and whiskey and wine and whatever else appealed. We paid for it, and then we sort of ran like a roadhouse. Everybody chipped in as much money as they could the first month, and we simply kept track of all that money because it was an extremely profitable kind of thing, even at the cheap prices that we charged. We used those funds to hire Korean labor for the kitchens and, I mean, everything but the guard duty. And that's what I ended up doing the last year I was there. I ran the saloon. Well, the colonel in charge of 22nd Group was so impressed by this bunch of ragamuffins in Wonju that he came down to award us some sort of citation. And when they arrived unannounced and rolled through the gate, here was this compound with tons of equipment, a sparkly, fancy nightclub. Koreans running all over the place doing all the work. And his problem was whether to just go away, give us the citation, or put us all in jail. Being a wise man, he just went away and sent some folks back and said, shut the club down, get rid of the Koreans. And they came to me and said, where's the money? And I said, the money belongs to all these guys here. It's a co-op. And they said, never mind that. You have to take the money and put it in the battalion funds. And the money was in my footlocker. It was $10,000, which is a lot of money in those days. So that was, that was my war.